Hello everyone, it's JohnnyFerno talking. Good old Monster ASMR for you guys. Alright. Hello. Streaming 2 days in a row, like, look at that, look at me just doing things and being here. So yeah. I thought about, because I wanted to do a reaction video, and I wanted to do a reaction video on this video here. My first trip to Japan, made by a great man himself, called JoCat, who went through a undeserved amount of flack for a very innocent, silly little video. But I'm happy all that is behind him now, all of that has happened, all that is done, now he's back, he's making things and just generally having fun. Also, what is that shining in my glasses? What is that? Wait, I'm cute. Oh, is that just... Oh, it's just the... It's just my OBS. It looks like I'm like a cyborg. Online. I am online. But yeah, just a quick announcement before I play this video. I saw it when it first came out. But it came out a good while back, and I wanted to make a reaction video about it, because I wanted to share, well, thoughts and everything. I just want to show more of JoCat to anyone who hasn't seen him, because he is just a really, really good guy. Just a really good content creator. I look up to him a lot. I found him during his, first during his Dungeons and Dragons days. I missed his Monster Hunter phase, but not phase, era. But then he did the Dungeons and Dragons videos, and then he did the Final Fantasy videos, which actually, fun fact, JoCat, I don't know if you're gonna see this. I kinda highly doubt you are, because I'm just a little pastry boy over here. But because of your Final Fantasy XIV videos, that's the reason I have begun to play Final Fantasy XIV. I'm not like fully in it yet. I'm barely level 30 on my archer, because I heard that you could become a bard, play instruments. I want to do that, so and I have been enjoying myself so far. I guess I just haven't had that like bug. Like, it hasn't bitten me yet. Like I've heard many other people describe it so. But anyway, yeah, I'm very excited to see how this is gonna go. This probably be the entire stream, depending on if I have the energy and willness to watch something else afterwards. But this was the main thing I wanted to see. I don't think there's much else to talk about. And for any new people who are either here on stream or watches this video when it comes out on YouTube, I know you probably have questions about that. I do have a video uploaded on my channel about it, at least about its origin, so yeah. But besides that, let us just get right to it, shall we? Just go quickly see what it is at Discord. Try and tell me. It's telling me that my server has seen the video. Okay, good. Coolio. But otherwise, my dear friends, let us pause the music, and let's just get to it. I can't really see anyone in chat right now, so I hope that volume is fine. That's what I'm hoping. Gonna set like, yeah, it said like there, for safety. But I hope that audio will be fine. And also, I really need to get some light here at some point. I know that the video will light up my face, but like, I need some light behind it, because this is not working. That's why I'm so much of my PNG tuber nowadays. But anyway, let's get to my first trip to Japan, JoCat Storytime.
I want to tell you a story about my first trip to Japan.
Okay, before we continue, already, before we continue, I just want to say, first off, JoCat, love your entire setup here. I believe this is also your streamer setup, I believe, the background and everything. Like, you're like a... Not a bar, you're like a shop, like an alchemy shop or something. I just realized you have a bunch of references in the background that I did not notice before. You have a Nuka-Cola, you have the Nectar from Hades, base game, based as hell. Oh, you also have not the Nectar, it's the Ambrosia. I don't recognize the white and blue bottle next to it. The shield, I will bet, is from Skyrim. I will bet. Don't recognize much else. But alright, what was I gonna say? Right, it's just... his animations and his art style is so good. It's so good. It was just that I really admire it. It's so good. Also, I believe for my own clarity's sake, I'm going to change the subtitles to English. Oh wait, it's auto-generated. I'm better without. You know what? Let's just leave it at Japanese then. Why not? And let's go. Oh, also, sorry, I paused already. Goddamn, I'm good at this. I've also been to Japan, so I remember a lot of what he said resonated with me, and some of it I was jealous. So let's continue. Man, I remember the trip to Japan was long as hell. Luckily, we were in some really we were lucky, got very good flights, very good seats and everything. Just
So Echo and I always wanted to go. Her as someone who potentially wants to live there one day, and me as someone who always wanted to see what the culture was about.
yeah.
Though I had flown internationally before, this would be my first time in almost a decade since the last time I did.
Oh, actually, I think... Okay, I can see on OBS that the thing is louder than me, so I'm going to take it down again. I just have to up the audio on my end. Okay. But yeah, like, the whole thing of, like, moving to Japan and living there, like, I've had that thought before, because when I was there, it was so incredible. But I guess I just have too many things here in Denmark that I would miss if I did move to Japan. But, like, to each their own. But I do understand why.
Combined with the fact that I am growing a developing hatred towards flying, I was prepared for 15 hours of dread. And it was dreadful.
Also, can I just say, Echo's hair looks stellar. Like, the mix of the red and blacks is just good stuff.
I'm someone who cannot sleep unless they're laying down, so the entire flight was just me adjusting and readjusting my position to try and get just a little bit of shut-eye.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm pausing so goddamn much. I apologize profusely. But two things. One I do remember is that there's gonna be a lot of, like, cameos. Like, these little chibi people. Like, there's gonna be a lot of cameos, a lot of references and stuff. Like, already, I recognize the guy with, like, the poofy hair. Oh my god, I actively follow him, but I don't remember him. But he makes a lot of he makes good comics. Draws good. Which also kind of made me one of, like, what my OC would look like in his style. So if JoCat ever, like, if it's something JoCat ever opens, like, commissions, like, hey, let me draw your OC in this chibi style, I would love to pay for that. Anyway, second thing, I know his pain. I said I love flying, but I am not a fan of, like cross-Atlantic flights because they're so goddamn long, and I can never sleep. Like, I flew to America last summer, to visit some people, and I could not sleep. No matter how much I try, I could not fall asleep. So I told my dad, it's like, hey dad, I know you have sleeping pills for flights and stuff. Can I borrow some next time? Because I need some goddamn sleep on these 18-hour flights.
With the 0 left.
Goddamn. I get your pain, though. I get your pain.
But thankfully, when it was finally over, I had a lot of fun to look forward to. Right after we get through customs, and grab our train cards, and Wi-Fi box, and cash, and drag our very heavy bags
I don't remember all of that stuff.
To our Airbnb. The flight arrived at about 4 p.m., but we didn't make it to the place we were staying at until nearly 9. Most of the time we had spent waiting in line for our train cards, since there was only one terminal for basically everyone at the airport. This was
the darkest dungeon stress. Love it.
It was because there was a chip shortage for the Suica cards that let you use the public transit in Tokyo, and the only ones available were the welcome Suica cards, which only lasted 28 days. But
like, here's the difference between, like, his experience and mine, because, like, if I remember correctly, his entire stay in this, like, he's telling about this video, it's, like, only in Tokyo. Meanwhile, me, because I was there with my family, we want to, like, travel around, so we went, like, to many different cities, many different temples and such. So I did not experience this. But I can only imagine how stressful that must have been.
That was fine, because that's about how long we were going to stay. After all that was done, we finally made it to our home base for the month. An apartment in Sumida City. And also by a very convenient Lawson, of which we would visit near daily whenever we would need a quick meal. Thank you, Lawson employees. You are our heroes. So...
I remember my family's saviors for snacks and stuff on trips was 7-Elevens, which, by the way, if you guys ever visit Japan, go to the 7-Elevens, buy their onigiri. Their onigiri are so goddamn cool. It's like, is that what Echo is holding right now? I believe that, if I remember correctly, that is what is called an onigiri. So the triangle rice ball with like little seaweed thing and the amazing filling. Oh my god, you can get like chicken, you can get beef, you can get tuna. Get the tuna one. That's like a godsend of a snack, and it feels really good. Sorry, I promise I'll try to pause less.
Here we were, finally in Japan. We chose Tokyo because it's the most foreigner-friendly, a nice baby's first Japan location. Yeah, especially considering Echo is still learning the language, and I know little to none of that language. I can speak Thai though. แต่ว่าผมลืมภาษาไทยไปตั้งเยอะแล้ว
7-Eleven, Lawson, and Family Mart, all great options for cheap, easy food and drinks, especially on hot days. Thank you, and also hello, McNix, welcome. Also, what was he said he was speaking?
That language. I can speak Thai though.
Thai. Oh god, I can just all these languages. I cannot even imagine. I jokingly try to learn Japanese. Nothing. I can say anime. I can speak anime. I cannot talk Japanese.
แต่ว่าผมลืมภาษาไทยไปตั้งเยอะแล้วก็พูดเหมือนฝรั่ง
Sounds really cool though.
There's a lot of English translations around for signage, but most impressively, the public transit was so easy to understand that as far as getting around goes, we had basically no problems finding our way around the city. So, what did we do on our first day in this new foreign country to us, ripe with centuries of culture and dozens of fun new things to do, against the recommendations of a good friend of ours?
Love the guy.
And basically everyone else who's ever been to Japan. We went to Kura Sushi.
Now
I'm sorry.
I have no idea what Kura Sushi is. If you want to learn Japanese on a casual level, apps like Duolingo can be a fun time. I believe you. Kura Sushi. We don't like. I don't remember. As he's going to. I remember he's going to say in a bit. It's basically the McDonald's of sushi places. We don't have that in Denmark. At least I haven't found one. And all sushi places that I've been at have just been sushi places. So like I do want to try and find more Japanese places to eat though, because Japanese food is wonderful. Also, again, sorry, I'm pausing so much. I want to talk. I'm yapping.
In our defense, we don't have a Kura Sushi anywhere where we live in the US without having to fly to another state. And if we're gonna take in what Japan has to offer, why not their equivalent of a McDonald's, right?
Hell yeah.
On top of that, it also had the benefit of allowing people to order food without having to talk
Sushi
to
is
anybody,
amazing though.
which is great for nervous foreigners with the language barrier who don't want to accidentally inconvenience anybody. Echo tried a lot of stuff. I mostly had the meat.
I found it very, I guess you mean hard, to find a cheap place with sushi in Japan, but man, was it tasty, even though it was expensive. Oh yeah. Yeah. I guess this is that same sort of restaurant where they went, because I remember the one that me and my family went to. It was like a rail restaurant like that one. I believe it's called a rail or something like that. But basically like every sushi was like on a colored plate. And whenever you finished your meal, you put the colored plates in a stack, and depending on how many of the different colored plates, that would be what you paid out in the end. And there was a I remember, like, I can eat a lot of sushi. I can easily eat a lot of sushi. And I remember we sat there in our little cubicle there, like, eating away. And we had built up, like, a very decent pile. I believe in total our group had around, like, either 40 to 50 plates or something like that. We were very hungry that day. I believe it was around 40 to 50, like those tiny plates. And then we actually asked one of the waiters, like, oh, hey, what's like the record? What's the biggest pile you've seen? And they said, oh, easily 150. Huh? 150 on the goddamn plates. It's like, that's a lot of sushi.
Oh, and also, every 5 plates, you get a chance to win a gachapon, of which I won on my first try. The rest of the day...
Of course they're gonna make gacha out of sushi. Maybe it's just because gacha has evolved since I've been in Japan, but like... Of course they're gonna make gacha out of restaurants.
We planned on getting a few things from Daiso and Book Off Plus in a sort of shopping district in Ueno. Or... Maybe
recognize that guy
Ueno is
to
the
remember
shopping
his
district?
name.
I don't know. But it was a really nice place. Just about every few feet, there was a store that caught our eye. We even found a nice clothing store where I got this cute, cozy sweater that looks like low-level RPG gear. And it helped keep me warm the entire trip. Speaking of which, I wish I could show you the absolute amazing fashion that was on display in some of these clothing stores. If it weren't for our budget, I would have personally gotten about a dozen out.
Mignix, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub at 11 months. God damn, dude. Almost a year. Appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you.
Outfits. Fun situation that happened while we were out. I was feeling thirsty at one point, so we stopped by a convenience store to grab something to drink. I found a can of lemon water.
Wait, I think I missed it when he said when he arrived in Japan. Because me and my family were there, like, in the winter. Because, okay, long story short, my sister was studying abroad in Japan. My big sister, so me and my parents flew over there to visit her and also spent Christmas and New Year's over there in Japan with her, which is the first and so far only time I've ever had New Year's and or Christmas outside of Denmark. That was interesting. That's a whole other story. What was I saying? Oh right, yeah, it's like it didn't get cold and stuff very much. And it didn't get warm very much. It was very cold, especially because we were sometimes up in the mountains. By the way, did you ever see the Coca-Cola Plus? What? See the Coca... What, in the video? Oh, no, over in Japan. No. I do not remember we did. We didn't go to supermarkets a lot. We're the type of family who, like, when we're out traveling, we're going to, like, restaurants and stuff. Because, like, it's a trip that's been saved up to. So, no, I never tried that.
That looked pretty refreshing, so we bought it. Found a nice spot to sit and refresh ourselves, and went about our way in more of the shopping district.
This is so cute.
But then I started to feel a bit woozy.
I remember that.
My drink, and it turns out it was alcoholic, and I hadn't even noticed. Now, being a little tipsy in public was not a big deal, but what was of note is that I had finally found an alcoholic drink that I liked.
Hey.
Some of you may remember I did a few drunk gaming streams in the past with my friends, and know that I usually can't even stomach a few sips, let alone the chugs I was taking for the stream. So this was a big deal to me. It may come as no surprise to people who remember those streams as well that I am a huge lightweight. So even this little drink with 5% alcohol content was giving me red flush and a warm, cozy feeling.
Oh yeah. I'm the same way. I'm a lightweight. I'm not a drinker. Like, the only times I drink alcohol is at, like, gatherings or when I'm with friends, and that's the, like, rare times when they get pulled out. So I'm actually only at, like, gatherings, like New Year's parties and stuff like that. That's the only time where I ever drink alcohol. And therefore, I'm a lightweight. Colossal lightweight. Like, for you Danes here in Denmark, give me about 1 to 2 Carlsberg, and I'm done. I'm tipsy. I'm already there. I am a lightweight. But I do also understand, like, finding that one alcohol that really works with you. I've found that because I'm the kind of guy who want to try everything once, who loves to experiment. I've tried different kinds of alcohol, and I have found that I like the ones that, like, goes down smooth and soft. I'm not a lot for the very sour ones, and I can deal with like the ones that basically punches your tongue and throat when you try to drink them. I can tolerate them because it is kind of fun for the whole, like, oh boy, it's like stuff like that. Caramel vodka plus Pepsi Max with lime. Sounds like a fascinating choice. Alright, let's continue. Oh, actually, okay, quick, last one alcohol thing. The best thing I've ever tried for now was, like, last year or the year before, where one of my friends brought a bunch of different meats, and then one was like a really, really nice soft meat, and just I drank out of that religiously that night. I think I emptied the entire bottle, if not 3/4 of it, because I just really liked it.
The next day, we did a bit more aimless.
Alright, you wrote about that. It was most convenience stores right next to the No More Colas. Spoiler: the plus is for laxative. So don't drink it so don't drink it before going out. Got it.
Exploring just to get a bit more of our bearings around the immediate area, and somehow accidentally found ourselves
those
at
guys.
the Tokyo Skytree of all places.
Tokyo Sky Tower. I think we were up there. I think.
It's not like it was all that far from our Airbnb, but it was still a pleasant surprise to land there without really meaning to. And inside was a lot of cool stores and food stands, but most importantly, and most dangerously, gachapon machines.
Oh. We did not do that. We did not go to the gacha stuff. Again, I don't think it was as prevalent back then.
They're literally all over Tokyo. In fact, on our way through some of the subway stations, we came across dozens. But here they were, stacks
and again, like,
upon
we
stacks
drove
of them,
mostly around
much
the place,
to the dismay
so
of our
guess
wallets.
we missed them that
Luckily,
way.
we were able to hold some sense of impulse control, but from that point on, Echo devised a plan.
Oh yeah, when me and my family were in Japan, we drove mostly around. We had like a rent car. We drove around on that one. We actually stayed away mostly from all of those gacha places and stuff because my parents are not like a fan of gambling at all. The biggest types of gambling they do is like the scratch calendar for Christmas each year. That's the biggest form of gambling they do, like in that sense.
And began saving our 100 yen coins in a very special little pouch.
Hell yeah.
Earlier that day, Echo also secretly got me a bunch of probably the biggest grapes I have ever seen in my life. See,
Grapes.
we had decided to come to Japan in October because that would be the time when it'd be both
Okay,
grape season
all right, yeah,
and
they weren't
precipitant
there in
season.
October.
Echo was interested in the latter
went
fruits,
December.
whereas I don't like grapes, but I do love grape flavors.
I'm fine with grapes as long as like the ones without the stones in them, because I always like just chomp down on grapes. That even now I can feel in my teeth are getting all uncomfortable at the memory of chewing down on like the rocks. Like it doesn't feel right at all. It doesn't feel good at all.
It's definitely one of my favorite fruit flavors. And in America, there's this one drink that I really like to get whenever we go to our local Asian market. Ramune. And they had a grape flavor that
I don't think we have that here in
love.
Denmark. Never
I also
seen
love
it.
this candy that could be found in the same
I've
store
seen
called
that.
Haichu. And so,
Never tried
for
it.
a long time, I wondered, a lot of Japanese grape flavored things sort of taste similar. Do grapes just taste different in Japan? So, this was my chance to finally see if I might like Japanese grapes more than American grapes.
I believe these are...
Also, those are some chunky grapes. Look at those things. They are some big old chunkers.
Let me get some sip.
Alright, get some sip. Thank you for that, Mick. Like, look at those things. You do not eat those, you bite those.
grapes? Is that what they're
Ain't got a
called?
bunch of check.
It's a different type of grape from the one that we have in America.
Look at the size of that thing. Good lord.
Better than American grapes or about the same, neutral? Still not a fruit guy?
I'm sorry.
I will happily eat them. I'm excited.
Alas, I guess I just don't like grapes.
Makes sense. Yeah, that's fair. To each their own.
The next couple of days, we decided to rest up and do some work in our apartment because, yay, being a YouTuber means you are never
Yay.
truly free. But that evening, we did go to what I personally consider to be one of my favorite places to go in
just
that
love seeing
entire
all these
trip,
designs.
a local Yakitori izakaya, a bar
Yes.
that serves grilled meat on little bamboo skewers. The food was great. The drinks were great. I even found another alcoholic beverage that I enjoyed, so that was another win. But the
If there's one thing that I've learned, both from out traveling so much with my family and also like seeing other people's videos about it, if you want the good places, oh, well, need to go out the door. Food won't buy and make yourself. I'll look around. Happy streaming. Thanks so much, Megan. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, I was about to say, if you want really good food, go for the local places. Go for the holes in the walls. Go for like the small places. They are by far the most comfy, the most nice, and generally have better food. Like, just go for those places. Go for the local spots. Won't regret it.
thing I liked most about it was the manager, who was incredibly patient and accommodating to us from the instant we stepped in. It was probably pretty obvious to him that we were tourists, so even though we could not speak a word of each other's language, he was nice enough to gesture to us each part of the bar for us to understand the regular procedure. Use the hand sanitizer, pick a seat that leaves room for others, order a drink before you order food. But coolest of all, he would point to each item on the menu, which did not have an English translation, and taught us how to read and pronounce each item, including pointing to the display as to which one each item corresponded to. I don't know if this was just because we were foreigners or if it was just standard procedure there, but he would regularly check up on us to make sure everything was good on our end. And if
that's just incredible service. Like, he did not have to go that far for them, but he did. It's just, my God, it's so goddamn cool.
If that wasn't cool enough, at one point, Echo had decided to translate the menu for my convenience because unga bunga stupid American brain not knowing another language. But one day, we had come home from that restaurant.
That was basically my big sister's job while me and my family were over. She was over there studying Japanese and stuff, so she was the one who was able to not only communicate with people but also help us translate things.
And I had lost the menu, which really sucked. Echo put a lot of work into that thing. But then, when we returned to the Yakitori place, it turns out the manager had found and kept Echo's translated menu and held onto it for us. This man...
I will guess that like the takes above their head as they bow was like arigato gozaimasu, something like that. I know some words, I know some phrases and things. Yeah, but I believe it's that I think they're saying arigato gozaimasu, which is basically thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much.
Single-handedly watered my crops, cleared my skin, and cured my depression. I love him.
I love that meme. I love that.
Another work day, so nothing interesting going on, but what was important was that today was Burnable Trash Day. If you're not familiar, Japan has a very specific method of how they do waste disposal.
As someone who became like as someone who like moved into his own place about like 5 years ago or something, this would have given me anxiety. Look at all that. Seems
it's
so
your
overwhelming.
Responsibility to categorize your trash. Sure, they have sanitation workers pick up the garbage like normal, but it's your job to make sure the right trash is stored correctly and
we also
in the right
separate our
place.
trash here
in
as
America,
well.
we only really have trash and recyclables. That is, unless your local government decides to take the recycling bin away and make you drive all the way to the recycling center. But
over here in Denmark, we have like all the classes we have. We have just general trash, plastic, food, metal, glass, like those sort of stuff. Like I separate my trash. So
anyway, you usually just kind of throw everything in one place. Not so in Japan. To keep things simple, there are really two main umbrellas that all trash falls under in Japan. Burnables and recyclables.
Yeah.
Easy enough, just like the States. But with the recyclables, you have to separate them and store them a certain way for trash pickup, like bundling papers together, putting metal cans all in the same bag, cleaning out any reusable cups so there aren't any food bits left in it, and the like. It was a very different way of doing things than Echo and I were used to, so it took a bit of time to figure out, but once we did, it was kind of nice knowing that our trash was going to the right places.
Oh goodness. But yeah, sometimes you have to do that. You have to. I love these little...
Today was our first day of special plans. Disney Sea.
Look at that.
It was one of the first available things.
I love that. The Mickey Mouse handles. The only Disneyland I've ever been to was Disneyland in Paris many years ago. Not been to one since.
And thankfully, it wasn't all that busy that day, so we never really had to worry about crowds or too long lines. I think it was a bit more of a park than a theme park, as me and Echo spent a lot of time just sort of walking around since the rides were fairly far apart. We only really got to ride like 4 rides before deciding to call it a day, which we were overall fine with, but me personally, I just wish there were more rides for the size of the park, or if the park was a little smaller so there wasn't so much walking needed between them. We also grabbed a few souvenirs for some friends.
Thank you for bringing me to France.
Yeah, we'll have to check for bedbugs later.
Okay.
Wait, what? 2023 Paris bedbug outbreak. Oh no. Oh man.
Not a lot happened this day. I mostly stayed in and near our Airbnb to sort of rest up after going to the Disney park yesterday, while Echo had a girl
I was
day
about to
where
say
she went to Tobu
Honeygoblin,
and
but I
got some
don't
cakes.
think.
She actually did quite a few girl days on our trip, and if you want to hear about those, feel free to subscribe to her channel, where she'll tell you all about it. For me, though, it was nice to just have a rest day where I could wander and take in the local area where we were staying, especially with how convenient the public transportation is. Okay, speaking of, can I just talk about the public transportation really quick? Because I think that was probably my single most favorite thing about staying in Japan, or at least in Tokyo. The fact
I didn't experience a lot of the trains, since again my family drove around, but I do remember like, I think we tried out like a bullet train or something because we wanted to go somewhere and then come back later to our hotel. I believe we did that, and those trains are really cool.
That there are trains and buses everywhere that help you get where you need to go, and how it makes just about everything within walking distance. Sure, there are roads and stuff in the larger parts of the city where having a car would definitely be beneficial, but me and Echo never had to step foot in a single car the whole trip, save for
Yeah, like
once.
the way that he draws
In
himself and
America,
Echo is so
there are very
good.
few places where we whole trip, save for once. In America, there are very few places where we
Fair.
have things like trains and bus stops.
Yeah, boy.
They exist, but really you'll only ever find them in certain very dense cities that have been around since the colonial era. And even then, a lot of them get replaced by roads and highways. To get anywhere in America, you need a car, full stop.
I generally have the rule of like, whenever I have to move somewhere, if I have to stay somewhere, I want it to be close to a train station. I want it to be close to some kind of public transport, because it just makes it easier to get around.
And yeah, there have
'Cause
been
I don't have a-
attempts to
I don't have a
add in
driver's
more
license, I
public
don't drive.
transportation, but for some reason it never really took off, and it's a real mystery why. No one truly knows. It's a big mystery.
I'm not American, so I don't completely get this reference, but I'm sure it's a problem.
Really. But in Japan, or at least in Tokyo, you can get just about anywhere on foot. There are train stations at just about every other block, and navigating them is so simple and easy to understand that children can use it. And
I hope this isn't-
whenever we would go somewhere, me
Makes
and
it better.
Echo would occasionally see a kid no older than 10 get on the train all by themselves with no parents or escort or anything. They just know how to use the trains and buses. It was
Which, like, this is another thing that's really interesting thinking about, like, culturally. Because in America, that is like an, oh my god, that child is taking a train all on their own. It's like, holy shit. Here in Denmark, that is pretty common. Now, I do understand why that is such a shock for Americans. But it's like, for me, that's just like, yeah, the kid knows his way around. Like, I took bus back and forth when I was younger. It's like, from school and such. Like, wasn't quite anything new to me. But again, that's because of the different cultures and the different countries that we live in.
It was especially helpful that all the signage was super foreigner-friendly, since Tokyo had just recently renovated the city to be foreigner-friendly. For the 2020 Olympics, it was supposed to host before the... What made the whole thing even more fun was that at about every station, there are desks with stamps for that station, and each stamp had a different design. And so it was my and Echo's mission to get a stamp at any new station we stopped at whenever possible. We even got these cute little sketchbooks from one of the stores at the Skytree.
I
that
wish
would
we
put
did
them in.
this.
Echo's is a lot fancier than mine
Look at
because
that.
she would draw cute little doodles to represent what nearby attractions and things were at that station.
I want to practice drawing so I could do stuff like that. It would be so much fun. It's so cool.
And what we did there. But all this to say, if there was one thing I could bring home from Japan to the US, it would be the train system. Please, please, God, please, I just want trains. Please, please, no! The next 4 days, we didn't really do anything special. Spent it mostly just living in Japan. We'd do work during the day, head out to grab lunch at noon, maybe explore a bit of the city, come back to do more work, go out for dinner, maybe get distracted by an arcade for an hour.
Hi, Jesse. Hi, Dodger. Oh my god, that's such a freaking trip seeing Jesse Cox and Dodger here. Like, these are people I've followed for like 10 plus years. Goddamn, they're amazing.
Or 3, check out some convenies and grab snacks, then come back and get ready for the next day. It was kind of nice to just wind down and take it all in. I know to a lot of folk that might sound like we were wasting our vacation days, but I don't know. Having to do something exciting and having a strict schedule every day during a time that you're supposed to be spent relaxing doesn't sound all that enjoyable to me. Now,
Okay, Oh, wait.
Not everyone is able to spend a month on vacation, whether it be because they can't afford it or their schedule doesn't allow it. So I hope this doesn't come across like I'm saying the way we did it is the best way for everyone. But we did plan for a whole month specifically because we like having days where nothing's scheduled and we can just sort of go about doing whatever we want without having to worry that we weren't maximizing our vacation time. Plus, we did sort of have something special to do
Okay, I'm just gonna say it here because I'm sure it's gonna keep going. I completely agree. Again, I've traveled a lot with my family. I've traveled a lot around, and I have felt the opposite. I have experienced the other side of that spectrum many times. I've experienced many family trips where there was something planned every single day, and I believe like the worst case of it, not because that the trip itself was bad, it was actually really good, but I remember the worst case of it was that we could not, it was like a week-long trip, maybe like a week and a half, and we were not staying at one place for more than one day. The most we slept was 2 nights at one place. Otherwise, it's just constantly moving, and it drained us so much. We have begun to incorporate more days of like, hey, we're here, we have a few things we want to see, but otherwise, it's vacation, relaxing and stuff. So I completely understand where it comes. Like you do need the chill days. You need the decompression and relaxation days. Remember to have them. It cannot be action and excitement all the time. You'll only burn yourself out.
most of the days, as Echo's scheduled while I sat sucking my thumb in the corner because planning things is scary, and I'm just a little guy. It's my first day.
Ah! Why am I this? Honestly, I wish so goddamn badly that I was better at, like, planning and stuff, but anyone who knows me knows I suck at planning. I get scared. Responsibility, planning, I'm just a guy. I'm just a little pastry boy.
So we did at least have variety, not just constantly on mandatory fun mode. If anyone has ever had helicopter parents, you know what I mean by mandatory fun.
I luckily have never experienced that. My parents knew to, like,
this day
let
we
me
planned
be,
to go
let
to the
me be
Book Off
me.
Super Bazaar because I needed a second monitor to facilitate my work. See, I normally would bring my own monitor, but I've had nasty luck with every single time I fly with one. Doesn't matter how padded or protected it is, the airline will always manage to break or bend my stuff.
Ugh.
So this time, I said, no more packing monitors. I'll just get one in Japan. And so we did. Book Off is basically a massive secondhand store with just about everything you can think of inside. From clothes, to bags, to musical instruments, to sporting equipment, it's got everything.
God
We
damn,
found a few Pokemon plushes to bring home for some friends.
I was about to say that it reminds me of, like, a chain store we have at home that's like a Mega Mart thing called Magazine. No, it's not like that. It doesn't have musical. I wish they had musical instruments.
What
Also, Eevee plush. I need to have an Eevee plush.
wasn't so great about it was that while we were browsing, we had a basket with a few items already, and at some point we accidentally crossed a section where that item was supposed to be stored in. And so it began beeping its alarm non-stop until an employee found us asking if we were going to buy it. In which case, we confirmed, apologized profusely, and immediately checked out so as to never
little guys, my
bother
first
them
day.
ever again.
Oh, yeah, the embarrassment is very real. Damn, that was a big bite.
Oh, that's like a beignet.
I do not know what a beignet is. That's cute.
Today was a special day. We were going to the Pokémon Center because I had planned on...
I want to go so badly to the Pokémon Center. One of my biggest regrets when I was over there with my family is that we didn't go to all the nerdy places. Or we tried to. We would try and go to... God, what was that? I forgot the name of the street, but the street like that's known and famous for all like the anime stuff in it. We tried to go there, and honestly, all we saw were like maid cafes and more gacha places and stuff. Like it was we didn't know how it worked. We didn't know where to look. We just thought that going to the street we would find stuff. And even when I went into stores, it was mostly just waifu models, which honestly was a bit disappointing to me because I'm not the kind of guy to collect waifu models. I wanted to collect like Pokemon stuff or whatever, like Naruto figures, and I didn't find it. I only saw skimpy waifu models. I don't think I have to collect waifu. So I just I want to go back to Japan. Okay, my family trip where there was like exploring the culture, all the like the temples and stuff, significant places. Next time I go to Japan, it's gonna be a complete nerd trip. I'm gonna go to basically all these places that he's about to talk about in this video, I'm sure.
Grabbing a bunch of plushies to give to friends back home since there's so many Pokemon and they're not always so easily available to buy if you're in the US. And in the cases where they are... Anyway, it was really cool to see all the Pokemon merchandising. They had keychains and stickers.
Fellow date spotted, fellow pastry spotted, the TP Sky man himself. Freaking TP Sky, man. If you... It's good. He analyzes, like character designs and stuff in... for the most part, most known for is League of Legends, but he also does other stuff. Like he did recently for Marvel Rivals, he did for Deadlock, and he has a raw ongoing series where he looks at like Pokemon designs and like One Piece chapters and stuff. Like, I of course don't agree with him on every single one of the things he says, but that's just natural. People have different opinions, but I highly respect the goddamn man. And I wish I had his I don't give a fuck attitude. I honestly wish I did. Good lord, I could learn that. But yeah, TP Sky, so fucking happy to see you here, my dude. You're amazing. Fellow dates, Scott.
And jewelry and dozens of other things I hadn't realized were even in the realm of possibility of what Pokemon could make into a branded product. What I really appreciated as someone who plays the games, though, was that the front of the store had a nice little mural with all the different generations of games being showcased. What wasn't so nice was they had Pikachu singing the Pokémon Center theme on repeat the entire time. And my heart goes out to all the employees.
That would drive me mad. It would be cute for the first like 5, maybe 10 minutes. No.
Who have to listen to it for 8+ hours a day.
Oh my god.
Every day. All the time. At one point, it started to really get to us, and Echo started punching me in rhythm to the Pikachu cries.
I would just begin like...
Pokemon has a massive library of music. Please, just let the employees listen to something else. Free them from this yellow electric rat prison.
Oh god. We have enough
Pikachu. Were what I was personally looking forward to the most from this trip, because they were lined with visits to a bunch of themed cafes.
I want to go to the... we don't have themed cafes in Denmark, or at least I haven't found any yet. I want to go.
Of them being themed after my favorite video games, you may know of them. Today, though, it was the Final Fantasy XIV Eorzea Cafe in Akihabara.
God, that's so cool.
Funny enough, the very same building also had a Dragon Quest cafe and one more themed cafe that we were going to tomorrow. But what really made this special was that we had the collab cafe queen herself, Emi Richu, with us too.
I don't actively follow Emmy. I've seen a lot of videos that she collabs in, and she seems like a complete treat. Like, just incredibly sweet person with a lot of opinions if you have seen her childhood crushes videos.
She had already been to this cafe before, but being a 14 player, I was ready to drop some sick lore on her ignorant mind. The cafe itself was really cool. They had 14 music playing, which was always nice, and the walls were covered in various official art and props evoking the game. I ordered the Fired Dodo, which was basically a deep-fried chicken leg, and Hien's bigly acclaimed traditional cuisine of the Mole tribe. A bunch of sausages and some potato wedges in a cast iron skillet. It was alright. Echo and Emily each got a fat cat meat bun. Emily also ordered the Raktika Great Wood Ahilo, essentially a small shrimp ceviche.
Ceviche.
And all three of us.
I just look at that. It looks so good. Also, I know I'll keep saying this, but just JoCat drawing himself and Echo, they just look so goddamn cute. I love all the outfits Echo is drawn in. Is that like outfits for her OC, like the witch outfit and stuff? That's just also like her. Okay, I don't know if it's her OC or herself. Either way, Slay Queen, you look amazing. But also again, like, that would be me if I was like if I went to a Warcraft themed cafe, or like, I don't know, Hades, Pokemon, anything. I would be the lore guy. I would be the one who kept looking at every dish and be like, oh, this is from that. Oh, that's a reference to that. It's like, that would be me, cause I'm a nerd.
Us shared a faux hollow chocolate toast, as well as the guild soaring cheese potatoes.
Oh, God,
some
look at
cheese
that.
fries arranged like one of the attacks from the boss.
Though I do want to say, like, fries with what looks like. Wait, what does he say?
And all three of us shared a faux hollow chocolate toast, as well as the guild soaring cheese potatoes. Some cheese fries arranged like one of the attacks from the boss fight from Shadowbringers.
Yes.
Okay. Good lord, man! You just beheaded him. I don't know. Like, if it looked like ice cream. I don't know if it's one of those meat buns again, but it looked like ice cream on fries, and that's like, okay.
The food was okay. My personal favorite were the fries, but the real stars of the show were the drinks. Each one themed after a different
Themed
character,
drinks are
location,
so much
or
fun.
job from the game. In really clever ways, too. I got the Gunbreaker and Crystal Tower. Echo got the White Mage and Crystal Tower. Emily got the Samurai and Dragoon, and each one was super cool and unique in how they were themed around their namesake. Crystal Tower, for example, had this rock candy
Literally a
pillar
crystal
sticking out of the
tower.
drink, just like the tower itself. The Gunbreaker had popping candies that you could throw into the drink, like how Gunbreakers load cartridges into their gunblade. The White Mage had a cute little rose representing...
Wait, so you put the things into the drink, and you, like, drink it, then it pops in your mouth? Is that how it works? Sounds like a unique experience.
The blood lily you use to devastate all within your path.
Samurai was basic and boring, just like the job in the game. But my favorite was the Dragoon, where you had a blueberry soaking in cherry syrup to represent the accursed eye of Nidhogg. And I was basically nerding out about all of this at both Echo and...
As a Final Fantasy XIV newbie, I get none of this. God, but I'm the kind of guy who's like, I hear about this stuff, like, I don't understand. It's basically the meme of, I like your funny words, Magic Man. And I just want to know more.
And Emily the whole time we were eating. Each drink also came with some mystery coasters as well, which had extremely nice promotional art from the various characters, expansions, patches, and events from the game. Now, Emily had already been to this cafe before, but it was real fun as a person who actually plays the game to be able to share how much thought and fan service went into all the dishes and drinks in order to elevate them beyond just being named after their subjects.
Yeah.
If you want to see her review as a connoisseur of themed cafes, she actually did a video that included Eorzea Cafe, which you can find here, in case you wanted to know her perspective as a general customer. As for me, though, I am extremely biased due to being a big fan of the game, so I absolutely loved it. Even so, I think it's very clear that a lot of love, effort, and expertise went into making this, not just as a good cafe on its own, but as a good piece of 14 fan service as well.
Yeah.
And after we finished eating, Echo and Emily fought in a great battle to the death on who would pay for the check. We ultimately came out on top due to our superior numbers. And then it was time for the gift shop, which had all manner of great merchandise. There were jobstone magnets and posters and plushies and all sorts of stuff.
All the
I
merch.
grabbed a bunch of jobstones for my friends and raid group. Shout out to the Glam Walkers. Thank you for being the coolest, most attractive bunch of players I could ever ask to raid.
Gorgeous bunch.
But what really caught my eye were two beautiful lore books. The first and second edition of the Encyclopedia Eorzea. Volumes of information about the 14 world, including its history, cultures, down to minute details like each region's diet, and this stuff is like drugs to me, so I had to get them. It was only when I unwrapped and opened one later that day that I had realized the very stupid, and in hindsight, very obvious mistake that I had made. I had just bought a lore book of a Japanese game from a Japanese cafe in Japan What language did I think it was going to be in? They sadly...
Hey, but hey, like, either... Those are cocks with hair. That threw me off. Who are the cocks with hair? I'm sure you guys are going to tell me in the comments. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I was in... Collector's item? Or you couldn't sell them later or something like that. But my god, it sounds like a thing I would do if I didn't check it properly before.
Didn't do refunds, which was fine, but it meant I had these massive books that I could not read because I'm stupid. I eventually gave them to my good friend Shenpai when we got home, but until then...
Oh my god, Shenpai. So fucking cool. I hope... Oh my god, it's an incredibly long shot, but I hope I get to collab with her one day. She is so goddamn funny. Funny as hell, great artist, and just... She is such a good vibe, like, generally. Like, her being from Germany, me being from Denmark, like, kind of neighbors, country neighbor sort of thing. I hope I get to collab with her one day. Even just meet and talk to her, because she's so goddamn cool.
I had two heavy, physical...
Also, just because she just seems like such a genuinely nice person. I would love to talk to her.
Hardcover copies of Shame to lug halfway across the planet as a constant reminder of my hubris. After the cafe, though, we had a fun time exploring Akihabara, mostly playing at the arcades and spending a lot of change we saved up over the past couple of weeks.
Man, me and my family spending so much time looking all the like the landmarks, big buildings, temples, like going up the road with the like what was like over 100 shrine gates or something. Like, I didn't do any of this. And it's what I know my next visit to Japan will be solely focused on.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you got it!
Oh, you got it the first try!
Hell yeah. JoCat's character is just so fucking cute.
So, this day was a bit hectic, but it was the nature of reserving spots for themed cafes. You'll know what I mean soon. First up on the agenda was the Monster Hunter Cafe.
I want to go there.
Same building as the Final Fantasy one. And Emily was happy to join us for this one too. And much as I love...
Insect Glaive user here. I love playing the floor as lava and never touching the ground, just buzzing around.
The Final Fantasy Cafe, and it was definitely impressive and kitted out. The Monster Hunter Cafe is the absolute pinnacle of what you can do with the idea. The venue was bigger.
That bouncy board. Is that basically like you write down like names and such and what you want, and then you pin it to the board, and then the waiters come in? Because if that's the case, that's so fucking cool.
More seating space. There were way more and larger decorations all over the place. Weapons and armor displayed everywhere. They even had a barbecue spit.
I would sit there. If I ever like was there with someone and I got like overstimulated or something and I need to go somewhere, I would just go over there and spin it because yay, the meat turns. Yay. That would just be a little vibe corner.
Listen, I'm not saying the Final Fantasy Cafe wasn't a 5 out of 5. What I am saying is the Monster Hunter Cafe is a 6 out of 5. As for the food, Emily and I both ordered the Teostra Fire Mappo Chicken Katsudon, served with rice and curry. And I got what I believe to be mandatory for every hunter. The expertly cooked bone and meat.
So good, I just want to take and bite it.
So tasty!
Echo got the smoked salmon carpaccio, which was themed as an Arzuros' favorite food, and the Yomogi's special bunny dango.
It's dango!
For drinks, I
want to try the dango,
potion, which was a citrusy drink representing the main potion, with additional syrups you could mix in, possibly to stand in for the buffing potions like hot and cold drinks.
The fucking attention to detail! I'm sorry that I'm pausing, but I keep seeing things I want to talk about. I'm a yapper. Those of you who've been here for a while, you know this. Those of you who are new, hi.
Or armor skins
so
from the game.
Cool.
I personally only really added in the blue syrup, which was blue syrup according to the menu. Whatever that means. The other two were not my cup of tea. Emily got the Ray's Wing Ratha, which was a strawberry soda with cola popping candy and more of that mysterious blue syrup. while Echo had the Kagero Violet Tea, an iced tea with soda and violet syrup. I still had room for food, but withheld because we had plans to go to another cafe soon after this one. Why? I'll get to it. But Echo was ballsy enough to order a dessert because she has a sweet tooth that must be sated or else she'll explode. So she got the Kirin Lightning Strike Parfait G, which is the G rank version of a much smaller, inferior.
It's like I said at the beginning of this. I saw the video upon the release. I don't remember everything. Then
Parfait, I presume. Funny enough, it had the exact same kind of rock candy that was used in the Crystal Tower
hey, if it
for
works.
the Eorzea Cafe. Thusly, I conclude that the Crystal Tower is a massive Kirin horn and that one day Eorzea will face a very rude awakening when they find the ginormous horse buried under Mordona. Overall, this cafe was amazing.
The murder
and I
pony
actually
will have
a
its
hard
due.
time deciding if I like it more than the Eorzea Cafe. The presentation was definitely a step up, but it's not like the Eorzea Cafe was lacking in the visual department. If I had to pick a favorite, I think Eorzea.
God, now I just want to go back and like finish. Like I haven't finished Monster Hunter World All Rise yet. Now I just want to go back and finish those.
Just about beats it out on account that I think I preferred the food and drinks on their menu just a bit more than the Monster Hunter one. The steak was middling, and the chicken katsu, although good, I feel I could get chicken katsu like it anywhere. So why was I saving my appetite? Well, because an hour after our time at Monster Hunter was finished, we needed to get to the Kirby Cafe by the Sky Tree.
I remember the Kirby place from Jane Animation's video about her trip to Japan for the Pokemon thing, and my God, that's maybe the number one place I want to go because it's Kirby. I need a Kirby
that
plush.
Was literally the only time we were able to nab when reservations opened up. I remember staying up at 3 a.m.
Oh God, that would be like the most stressful part, all like the booking. Because apparently you have to book everything in Japan in advance because everything gets filled up so goddamn quickly. Oh my God. I just realized me and JoCat have to say it like,
to help Echo book this thing, and having 2 or 3 of our selections immediately
I just realized we're barely halfway through and it's been over an hour because I keep yapping.
Snatched up by someone before we finally got one. We
Damn you,
tried
Crab.
to book a 3-person seat so Emily could be included, but every single 3-person slot was booked immediately. And I mean immediately. Not to mention, you have to include your name in Japanese. So Echo and I were frantically trying to translate our names so that we could type it out in katakana.
I guess like if I went by my online name, Johnny, it would be like, yeah, Johnny. That wouldn't be too hard.
It was probably the most stress our relationship has ever been under. Thankfully, we did secure the spot, but the only time slot we could safely grab was unfortunately only 2 hours after Monster Hunter Cafe,
so you had
and we weren't able to include Emily, who is very understanding and didn't mind. Thank you for your sacrifice so that we could enjoy Kirby.
Giga Chat, Emily.
So off we went, walking fast, curb-bound to the subway. On the bright side, the trip had very few interruptions, and we actually managed to make it there early. We got a seat inside not too long after, and this place, although small, was very cute. At the front, we got to take pictures with a giant plate while wielding a giant fork and spoon next to Chef Kirby and Waddle Dee. And decorating the center of the cafe was Wispy Woods, the most beat-up Kirby boss of all time. My favorite part.
The most abused boss in video game history, but we love him.
Part of the cafe was the atmosphere. Some jazzy Kirby tracks were being played all the while we were there.
So good. Look at this place, so cool and cozy.
For
God,
our
I want to
meals,
be there.
Echo ordered the Waddle Dee lunchbox, which had a salmon and avocado rice bowl, while I had the Kirby lunchbox, which was another rice bowl, but with hamburger steaks and lots of veggies. I split it with Echo because I didn't quite like half the contents of the bowl, and I may not have been the only one because it's apparently a beef bowl now instead, which I would have much preferred. Thankfully, it wasn't the only thing I had to
Kirby
eat.
burger.
I ordered the Kirby burger that came with pasta and corn potash. The pasta and corn potash were good. The burger was not. The bun was and the meat tasted dry. Like said, the salmon and avocado bowl was the best restaurant food she had ever had. But now we faced a new problem. Having eaten at 2 cafes in just a few hours, we were stuffed. But Echo was determined to not leave until she had a dessert. We almost got the Kirby cake, but it was strawberry.
I want to try out the Kirby if I ever go there. I would challenge myself to devour that thing. Also, look at the kiwis. Goddamn. Again, just the presentation is so goddamn. God, I wish we had themed cafes here in Denmark. If there are any, like any fellow natives in the comment section who knows, please inform me, because I have not found trace of any.
Very flavored, and I am not a fan, so Echo would have had to eat the whole thing herself, which was not happening. She got the Kirby's fluffy pancakes instead, which was still strawberry, but far more manageable for one person. I helped a bit with the sides, though. Echo says it was okay, but no regrets. And then it was off to the gift shop, which had tons of adorable Kirby memorabilia. And most importantly, Kirby gachapon.
Of course.
Overall, it was a pretty good cafe, but I feel the food, at least aside from a few standout dishes,
I would go there for the atmosphere alone.
Better. The change in menu items since we've been there probably indicates that they were thinking or being told the same thing. What else that was nice about the Kirby Cafe is that it was directly connected to the Skytree Mall, to the point the exit out of the gift shop leads directly into the mall itself. So we browsed the mall a bit, made some impulse purchases, walked off 2 cafes worth of food, and overall had a nice time out. Back-to-back experiences aside, I'm still glad we got to do them both. At some point, while we were hanging out with Emily, there was a conversation along the lines of...
Oh, Echo, you like Sanrio? Are you planning to visit the Cinnamoroll Cafe?
There's a Cinnamoroll Cafe?
So today we went to the Cinnamoroll Cafe in the Shinjuku Mall. It was a walk-in, so no reservation.
I have to be honest, I did not know about Cinnamoroll's like existence until like Iron Mouse and Sea Dog VA. Like I see some of Sea Dog's videos and it's all about here there's a Cinnamoroll time to pay the mouse tax. Like I guess I knew about them, but just never really like their name, like stuff like that. It's just I didn't know there was this much of an obsession about it.
Reservations needed. It was also fairly small, but not very packed, so we were able to get seated
I love the
fairly
penguin
quickly.
with the skull.
Sitting all around the cafe were some cute little Cinnamoroll plushes, which gave me anxiety, considered there were some very stain-prone food around. And the boy's basically a canvas waiting to be painted on.
Fucking
Regardless, I got the spaghetti with meat sauce that was apparently a collaboration at the time with Totonu Konu, who is apparently a character from the manga Don't Call It a Mystery. I have no idea what the manga is about. I am only learning about this now as I am writing this script. Echo, meanwhile, got the blue curry in the sky, which was a pretty basic rice and curry dish with a few bits of meat thrown in. For drinks, I got some sort of blue drink, of which I cannot for the life of me find what it was called, but I remember it being okay. While Echo got this mustache drink, Vienna coffee. We also both got a dessert, since we didn't really have anywhere else to be that day, so might as well. I got a stack of pancakes, while Echo got a parfait. Basically, all the food at this cafe was really, really good, so props to the cooks.
There was an adorable little corner merch store that had a load of roll-themed items, and I hold Echo back from grabbing just about everything off of the shelves.
It was a humble little cafe that was nice enough to stop for food.
Speaking of Iron Mouse, hi!
Though, it was time for our special thing. So I mentioned earlier that Echo was collecting the 100 yen coins each time we got change. It wasn't just to make some of our transactions a nice even amount, although we did do that sometimes, but more specifically, to save them all for one very important thing.
What is my purpose?
Gachapon.
Let's go!
God.
Today was our designated Gachapon day, where we would be spending pretty much all of our
Let's go gambling!
Our saved up change. About 20,000 yen's worth.
Damn.
Half of the day was dedicated to feeding Gachapon machines and collecting their precious little toy poops. We were ecologists on the hunt, and our quarry was a wilderness of plastic. We bounced around both the Shinjuku Mall and the arcades in Akihabara, basically until there were no more machines we were interested in. And we got loads of cute little things that will forever decorate our house and accessories.
This goddamn... I'll just say his choice for music in this video is so goddamn good. So good. I'm jamming out to this.
Once we did have our fill of choking hazards, the wallet abuse was not over. You see, we were at an arcade.
Oh my god, I forgot what their names are. They're like the bear and the bird. But like I see some of the clips on TikTok with like in a 3D environment and they're missing each other. So they're really cute. Hatsune Miku. Oh boy.
And although the gachapon...
I actually wonder if there's any, like... Is My Little Pony big in Japan? Would there be My Little Pony stuff? I would be going for those things. Oh my god, a My Little Pony cafe. That would be kind of cool. Also, I know these three. I don't remember from where their names, but I've seen them before.
Pawn was no longer interesting us. The various prize games were still...
Bunyet? Bunyet or something like that? They have basically a PS1 graphics style Bonnie OC, and that's their friend over there on the other side. I believe her. PS1 inspired animations, so good. I'm sorry, yapping.
Ripe.
Oh, goodness me. So good. So good. So good!
And not to brag, but I was a master of crane games. On more than one occasion, I managed to first try prizes that were giving Echo
so goddamn
tons
cute,
of
I can't get over it.
What can I say? I have magic.
Fucking get that Phoenix Run shit out of here. Love it.
Fingers. It was a good day and makes me wish we had these kinds of arcades in America.
I want this meat.
Yep. Hey J-Rock, welcome to the stream, buddy. Welcome to the reaction. We're currently watching JoCat's trip to Japan, and I'm just talking about, you know, when me and my family were in Japan, and what I want to see next time I'm over, because god damn it, I am going back.
Such a cute meat.
Oh, you want some meat? I guess you could say that JoCat wants some meat.
Yes.
Yeah.
It only took 5.
Oh, it's so cute. Look, you
Yay.
can take the bone out.
Why could you?
Oh, that's suggestive.
Yes, I was gonna say that looks very sweet.
How does that look good? That did not look good.
All throughout our trip, we often would stop by any restaurant we'd come by that looked interesting to get food. Unfortunately, sometimes that can be playing Russian roulette with your stomach. And because of this, at some point, I had unknowingly eaten something bad.
Yeah.
And I got food poisoning, which laid me out for nearly the whole week. I would spend the following 4 days in bed, doing nothing but sleeping and occasionally messing up the bathroom.
Oh,
But not me. This is my video now. Haha.
Okay, before Echo goes on her thing, first off, she drew like Nurse Echo before, cute as hell. But also, I have experienced being like having food poisoning on a trip. That's not fun at all. It's such a terrible feeling as well. You lie at home, like in your hotel room or wherever, and you just lie there and you almost feel guilty because the rest of the guys, like the rest of the people you're with, are like out there and traveling, looking around, and now they also have to take care of you, like buying stuff or like taking care of you, and you lie there and feel guilty because you're there supposed to have fun and relax, but there you lie, sick. And it's sometimes a thing that just cannot be avoided. I've always wanted to go to Japan, mostly Tokyo, but want to visit the countryside, like from My Neighbor Totoro. Dude, same. Okay, now I've decided 2 kind of trips. One, for the nerdy side, to go to like all the cafes, all of the arcades and everything. Like the cafes and the nerdy trip, and also to go to the country. Because yes, me and my family, when you were there, we traveled around and we saw like landmarks, temples, stuff like that. But I do also want to see like just the countryside. That would be amazing. But now the Echo takeover. Oh my god, that was so cute.
I went to Daiso and I got a bunch of
oh my god, wait, the fox on the left with like the pink highlights. Wait, she's also a reactor, if I remember correct. I'm pretty sure I've seen some of the reaction videos. Hell yeah, reactors getting some stuff. Yay. Yay.
I went to Daiso and I got a bunch of meds to try and help him feel better because there wasn't much I could do to heal him otherwise. So
boy.
I decided to go out and have a girl day. That way
I had the girl in the green sweater. That was Shenpai. Another great content creator. Another great artist. I've already I yap so goddamn much.
Have the room to himself.
Wait, also, wait, going back.
Him otherwise. So I decided to go out.
I want to say Green Scorpion, but I also know that there's another Scorpion, like, VTuber who's like a Scorpion girl, so I guess that's her. And I will guess that is... oh my god, what is his name? I've seen him in Russian Badger where he got relentlessly bullied in his Fortnite video. I think I know who that is.
That way he could just have the room to himself. I went to an IKEA and I got a hamper. I also went to Don
IKEA's everywhere,
which is this huge superstore where I got some really cool colored contacts. But then at one point my phone nearly died, so
Honey
I had to
Goblin.
hunt down a McDonald's
And I knew the demon girl.
so I could charge
Lana!
it, because I know they have.
Of course they put Lana in the cafe. Okay, I'm doing so much sense. Sorry, I'm gonna go back. I yap. I'm sorry.
Huge superstore where I got some really cool colored contacts. But then at one point my phone nearly died, so I had to hunt down a McDonald's specifically so I could charge it, because I know they have outlets and charging stations.
Excuse me.
Once I felt like my phone was charged enough that I could use Google Maps to get home, I made my way out to the train station, and then halfway there, I realized that I forgot my bag, my contacts, and everything that I just bought at the McDonald's. So I took off running back to the McDonald's, desperately hoping that no one stole all of my stuff. It was all exactly where I left it.
Look at all these cute people.
Should I explain what the Big Poo is here?
The Big Poo.
Okay. I also went out and I scouted the Big Poo, also known as the Asahi Beer Hall, for some super secret plans I have later.
I remember that part.
So yeah, I was out of commission for 4 days.
They're so getting cute together.
We basically had to cancel.
I've said this so many times, but now I'm sorry.
For that week.
The Joe sick. I love girls.
Another day for me to rest. And although it did suck that I basically had to give up a couple of days of this vacation, we even had to cancel going to a ramen festival we had planned. What really sucked, on top of it all, was the weight loss. I've never really shared this part of myself publicly because it's kind of an insecurity of mine, but I've always had a hard time staying at a healthy weight. I used to be underweight fairly often as a kid, and although I'm doing a lot better now, I'm still a decent few pounds short of where I'd like to be. It doesn't help that my main job involves sitting at a computer for hours, and my main hobby involves sitting in front of a television for hours. And I just picked up another hobby that involves me sitting at a craft desk for hours. I sit around a lot. But since our trip began, I had been eating 3 to 4 meals a day regularly, walking everywhere, going up and down stairs all the time, carrying around all 3 to 4 meals a day regularly, walking
no, wait, that's not her. Don't remember her name, French VTuber.
Everywhere, going up and down stairs all the time, carrying around all our prizes and souvenirs. I'm not saying it was a workout, but it definitely put me on a healthier routine, and I actually started to gain some healthy weight. Which is why it was extra sad that while I was resting up, I could only stomach eating like 2 crackers for a given day, because anything else would have been too much for me. Yeah. And so I had lost a lot of the weight that I had gained, which was kind of sad.
Yeah, anyone who has seen me, hell, you can see it now. I deal with the opposite problem. The thing is, I used to be in proper shape when I was younger. Like, oh boy, I guess it's also kind of a sensitive thing for me to talk about, but like, I used to be in a normal shape when I was younger, but then something happened along the way, and I just began to gain weight. Right now, no, I'm not even gonna say the number that I saw last time, because I know it's gone bigger since then. I know that I shouldn't be ashamed of how my body is, and I've told people that they like my body the way it is, but like, there are plenty of times where I'm not, and where I wish I was smaller. I wish that I was thinner. I wish that I was stronger. I just don't work out as much as I wanna. Hell, I've even since now I don't have a job, I have like signed up for a gym membership to a gym not far from here, but I still haven't gone there. I don't know why. I've been doing my best to cut back on the bad amounts of food that I eat, like less sweets, because like, just... I've been trying to cut back. Has kind of worked, hasn't really. So yeah. It is something that I hope that I can get to fix this year as well. Right. Sorry for that kind of down a moment. Let's get back to it.
Why not exercise at home?
Now you listen here.
Today I was feeling marginally better, but a bit under the weather still. We finally got beef bowl, which I am still surprised it took that long to finally stop.
Hey, that's Soren and Cabal in the background.
Considering I would tug at Echo each time we passed by, asking if we could go, please, please, please. And I'm not kidding. Tied with the Yakitori place, beef bowl is probably my #1 favorite thing to eat.
Wait, I've had ramen plenty of times before. Also, while we were over in Japan, I believe that is ramen. Wait, probably isn't. But I don't think I've ever tried where you had to like strain the egg of like the egg whites before you put the yellow bits, the yellow blob into the food. I've tried where it's just like the whole damn egg or something like that. I'm misremembering.
To eat ever. To the point we proceeded to go there the next 3 days in a row.
Rose Doodle, and don't remember her name, but she's like a Greek goddess VTuber, and she is fucking good. Like, please, like, I don't remember her name, but her model in action, gorgeous, darling, gorgeous.
Oh, I love it so much. We now make beef bowl at home in America.
Oh, beef bowl,
and although
right.
it's not nearly as good, I still love it. Beef bowl, my beloved.
I want to try beef bowl.
Since I was feeling almost back to 100%, we decided to celebrate. We would spend the day at the arcade.
Hell yeah. Oh, I would love to see Neville in one of these, in his little bunny Ben form. Benny Bunny. Oh yes, I would love to see...
Can I just go on another happy tangent?
JoCat's version of MyOC and Neville's buddy. I would love to see that.
Real quick and say I love Japanese arcades. Sure, we have a few back home in the US, and they're fine and all, but
oh my god, so many people. I'm dying because I want to see the references. Oh, there she is. There's the French VTuber I was talking about before. Sayori, I want to say. Sayuri, something like that. But also... oh my god. Kiwi? Oh my god, I feel so horrible. Kiwi and Ross.
Back home in the US, and they're fine and all, but
check them out, they're really cool.
In fact, so many of the ones in Japan have
prizes
attached.
Horrible with names.
I want more of them. Echo too, maybe even more so. It's kind of dangerous. We spent so much time and energy trying to get this one bunny suit Chika Fujiwara. We don't even watch or read Love is War. Echo just really wanted it and got so tantalizingly close. But we ultimately gave up when we had spent a collective 30 tries, which probably amounted to the same amount of money it would have cost just to buy the figure. But to Echo, it wasn't about the figure. It was never about the figure.
It was about the challenge.
It was about winning.
Yes!
What I personally love about the arcades is they almost always had a taiko machine. And I
love to try taiko at some point.
Taiko. I love rhythm games, but especially taiko. Something about having physical sticks to bang the drums. Plus, whoever's in charge of licensing the music for the game did a fantastic job because they have banger after certified banger. They even got Klonoa tracks in there. That's how you know it's a good game.
I would love to try that. Try to play the taiko drums. Place
One
Japan.
thing I feel important to mention, I've been talking positively about my and Echo's experiences so far, because it was positive. But make no mistake, we have no delusions that Japan is some perfect paradise. Like any country, it has its own social, economic, and political issues. Its work culture, its rocky history with women and LGBT people, the state of its economy, and that these are problems that Japanese people are entirely aware of as well. I'm not bringing anything new to the table here. I personally don't feel informed or qualified enough to speak on them, as I'm just a foreigner. I am by no means trying to romanticize Japan. I'm also not trying to say that America is that much better either. We got our own problems, and some of this is the pot calling the kettle black. I lived the first 11 years of my life in an Asian country. I know firsthand what differences in culture a few thousand miles of land can be. We just wanted to enjoy that freshness of a different culture for a bit before returning to our normal lives. Not trying to say anything more than that. But I just wanted to mention that somewhere in here, in case people got the wrong idea that this video is Japan good, America bad.
I can kind of speak on that as well from a Danish perspective, because I've seen lots of videos about like Americans and stuff coming to Denmark, looking around and be like, oh my god, this place is so much better than Denmark and stuff. And I do agree, we do have a lot of things here in Denmark that I think are better than how things are played over like in America. But just like JoCat said, every time I think about that and talk to people about that, I don't want to give them the impression that Denmark is a perfect country. We have our own problems. We have our own culturally bad habits. We have our own things that we deal with. I know that every single country has their own baggage in one way or another, where it's culturally, environmentally, how it works things in their systems, stuff like that. Get this, yes, we have free healthcare. I don't have to worry every time I want to go to a doctor for a checkup. I don't have to worry about that. But there are other things that I have to worry about instead. So it's just like, yeah, I can relate to what he's talking about.
Today was a very special day for Echo because we were finally going to Hokkaido, which
the fucking maid Space Marine.
which is a massive art supply and stationery store, where I had to hunt her down several times because she kept escaping to look at another random part of the store. And who could blame her? This place was full of so many tempting supplies to grab. Hell, I haven't touched anything traditional in years, and I still fell victim to the allure of shiny new art supplies. And so I grabbed some cute little stamps, sketchbooks, and even had a few reference books for poses and outfit designs. This one's my favorite. The building itself was structured into having several floors, each floor specifically containing a certain kind of art supply. Like, the bottom floor was for stamps, stickers, and sketchbooks. The next floor would be something like paper of various weights, thickness, and material. And the next floor would be all pens, pencils, scissors, and paper guillotines. It was an artist's wallet's nightmare.
Paper guillotines.
If you want to see specifically each and every item we got, and also a few more art stuff we came across just during our stay, Echo actually has a video going through each and every one of them. It was about this time as well that we were thinking, despite coming here with plenty of space in one of our suitcases for all the stuff we wanted to take back home, with how heavy all our things were getting and how much space it was all taken up, we would likely need to buy another one. And eventually did. Thankfully, we only needed that one.
PS1 JoCat.
Today was real special, though.
But yeah, that would also be a thing I would have to worry about whenever I go back to Japan. Bring extra trunks or be ready to buy extra trunks because of all this stuff I want to buy.
Not one that we planned. So Echo really wanted to go to the Asahi beer hall. Asahi being one of the largest drink producing companies in Japan. Think the Coca-Cola company or Pepsi.
Or I guess like in Denmark there would be like Carlsberg. I believe. Fellow pastries, feel free to correct me.
If they also produced alcoholic drinks. They're also responsible for my new favorite drink of all time now, melon cream Calpis soda, which I would have to grab anytime I saw it in a vending machine, no matter what. Seriously, if anyone knows how I can get this in the US, please tell me. Anyway, being such a massive company, they have a couple of massive buildings in Sumida by the river, which are supposed to symbolize a tall glass of beer and what I assume to be a shot glass with foam whisking over the top of it, tapping together for a cheers. And
meanwhile, we have a building here in Denmark that's straight up just a beer bottle. I think that is a Tuborg, because we have two like big beer companies here in Denmark. We have Carlsberg and Tuborg, and I believe we have a Tuborg, just a giant ass like green bottle as a building. It's so good.
Yeah, it's supposed to look like foam. At least that's the intention, but...
Oh no!
That
Echo wanted to go to the Sky Room.
That looks like something that floats, not foam.
restaurant they had at the very tippy top of the beer glass, which has a gorgeous view of Tokyo. The food there was okay, nothing mind-blowing, but a pleasant enough meal. I had a sausage link and some pizza, while Echo got a couple of alcoholic drinks because she was very nervous for some reason. And it was there, while we were enjoying our food, looking out over the beautiful Tokyo skyline, that I was thinking out loud. This would have been a great place for me to propose. Sorry I don't have a ring, but we'll consider this our engagement trip if that's okay.
My heart is like
I know exactly what is coming.
Pickles, kinda sour, kinda sweet, soaked in brine. Which to pair with lower than a side dish, no deep fry that I can call mine. My heart is like a jar of capers.
So goddamn cute. I
I
remember this moment because I was laying in my bed when I saw it and I was just kicking my feet. Like, oh my god. Ah! I'm so happy for them, it's so goddamn cute.
So yeah, Echo proposed to me right then and there. Look it, we took pictures. A place we would highly recommend if you're ever in Tokyo. Thank you.
Fucking normalize that women are also allowed to propose and do stuff like that. Like, oh my god. It's so... Look at them! Sorry.
Asahi Sky Room.
Oh, I love them. Non-parasocially.
We wandered the city a bit more, and when we were hungry again, decided to stop by a ramen place at the recommendation of my best friend, buddy, pal, friendo, Shinpai. Hey, look at that, you're in the video 2 times in a row.
Two cameos.
Ichiran, and it was located in Shibuya, the big city. It was quite a long line when we got there too, but when you go in, they assign you a seat along
Again, I see people. I know them. Forget their name.
Line up, where each person has their own little space to eat ramen.
Oh,
and in this
exactly. It was a magical moment when I first proposed to my wife. Yeah, I bet. I saw the picture. Looked fucking fantastic. Again, just massive congrats to you, dude. Just thumbs up all over the place.
Center is where they took your order to prep food. They give you a little paper menu where you get to pick your noodle size, firmness, how much broth you want, the concentration of the broth, how many contents of food you want in it, the works. And I know I've said this a lot for a lot of the food here in Japan, but this is the best noodle dish I have ever eaten in my life. Thank you so much, Shen, for recommending this place.
Fucking
Echo and I
dates!
were lamenting on the verge of tears recalling this part to write for the video because the noodles...
That's always the worst part. That is always the worst part when you're out on a trip, like out on a vacation. You've had so much fun. You've seen so many things, met people, and then it's the final, and not even the final day. It's the day before the final day, and it's just, God, it hurts.
We're just that good. Speaking of food, today Echo wanted to go to a very specific onigiri place called Onigiri Bongo in Toshima, which was a bit out of the ways from where we were staying, but Echo insisted we had to go. And she wasn't the only one, because when we got there, there was a hefty line.
So many fucking cool designs.
We thought the ramen place was long. This was long.
This place had a reputation for being probably the best onigiri place around. And you could tell because we got there at around early evening time, and by the time we finally made it in, the sun was gone. And credit to them, the rice balls were...
Look at those onigiri. I want them. Look at them!
Absolutely delicious. Was it worth waiting several hours?
I'm getting so hungry.
Echo thinks so. She sure does. She says it was worth it. That's what Echo says. I'm not...
I fucking... She says it's fine. She likes it. Oh no, not that he liked it as well, but like she's fine with waiting. Yeah, she's fine with it. That's important. That's the important part.
I'm not saying they weren't delicious. Probably the best onigiri I have ever had. Would I be willing to wait the 2 to 3 hours again? We'll be ordering online next time.
God.
The final special planned event for our trip, the Ghibli Museum, which we weren't able to...
I was there when me and my family went to Japan. We were at the Ghibli Museum. I'm just gonna let him talk, and then I'll talk.
get any pictures for, since they had a no camera policy once you were inside the building. We were able to take some of the outside, which still looked beautiful, what with all the greenery and overgrowth around the building. If you don't know Studio Ghibli, yes you do, shut up liar.
Yep,
inside were various rooms and displays of the process the studio goes through to make their films, including entire albums of concept art, individual frames of animations, and even recreations of Hayao Miyazaki's office. The whole building was laid out like a cozy building
Red
for their films.
Hi, overly sarcastic productions. Forgot you guys were here.
Very whimsical, very colorful, very dense with detail and clutter. And plenty of activities for kids too, including a fluffy cat bus play place, which I was kind of envious.
Plus, Ghibli makes the food look so damn good that it makes your mouth. Yes, oh my god, their food animations just feed it to me, like take it out of the picture and stuff it in my gullet.
I kind of wish that I could go into, but I'm too big. It was for kids.
Yeah.
So we just kind of watched them have fun. There was a section of the museum all about the illusion of animation itself. It was a dark room with various rotating dioramas,
I remember this room.
old film machines, just a bunch of cool old tech that would have been used to make animations before the streamlining of digital media came along. And at the very back of the building, they even had a theater for attendees to watch a cute little short film about two children, a human and a rabbit, and their rivalry over
I did not see that
area.
one. Me and my family saw a different one.
This is gonna sound cheesy, but that signature Ghibli vibe, the atmosphere, the feeling of whimsy and nostalgia and childhood wonder was just about everywhere in the building. And that includes the cafe outside as well. Yep, the Ghibli Museum has its own themed cafe, the Straw
We did not
Hat
go there.
Cafe, which was... I didn't really like the food. I think the only thing that looked good to me were the french fries, which were extremely unflavored and soft. But whatever, that wasn't really a place to get lunch.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
not what you were there
Regardless,
for.
though, the museum itself was a great experience, and we got to keep our tickets as a souvenir, which each one was a few frames of film from one of the movies. Look, I got a bunch of fish. I think it's from Ponyo. That's the only movie that exists with fish in it.
Looks fine. But yeah, I remember me and my family going to the Ghibli Museum as well. And like, if you're a fan of Ghibli, hell, if you're a fan of animation, the art of creating art in movement, and you're in Japan, and you have a chance to go to the Ghibli Museum, do it. It's exactly how he describes it. Just this feeling of wonder as you go around. I was mesmerized, and just... I was taken on a journey going through that building, seeing all of the incredible things in there. Like, I understand why they don't allow pictures to be taken inside, because you need to see it in person. It's one of the things you have to see it for yourself to believe it. It's so beautiful. It's so breathtaking. Like, and also that cat bus. At the time, I think I was also like too old to like go in and like play with it. So I do think that I managed to like step inside and like pat it, but I was not allowed to do much else. It's a huge thing. Like, it's a big old like cat bus plush. So goddamn good. As Guillermo del Toro once said, animation is art. It's art! Yes, it is.
This was our last full day in Japan, and we wanted to take care of a couple of last things. Firstly, we wanted to dispose of all of our plastic containers from the accumulated gachapon that we had played. So we hauled a massive plastic bag full of them, went to the Skytree, and deposited them into one of these large recycling stations that would have given us special bonus gachapon pulls.
We're getting names.
If only our phones were Japanese and worked with the app that you needed. Alas, we were content with just plain old recycling.
Okay.
For now. Secondly, we needed to pack our stuff, and thankfully, with the extra bag we grabbed, we were able to fit just about everything without too much trouble. Third, there was a place I wanted to go to finish some business I had started. You see, in the Eorzea Cafe, they stamp this little card for each drink you order, and once you reach a certain amount, you get a reward. In my case, pin of one of the, at the time, 7 main city hubs. And so when I ordered some drinks, chugging them down like we were grinding for an achievement, and managed to reach the reward and nab a pin, which I decided to go for the objectively best city hub, the Crystarium from Shadowbringers.
Cool.
And you can disagree, but you're wrong.
I am still in A Realm Reborn. No idea when I will get to the upper levels, but I'll get there someday. Packing is always fun when traveling, especially to places you've never been to or cons. Yes. Yes, they are.
And lastly, we wanted to stop by our favorite bar one last time.
Yes.
In Japan, there's a tradition called omiyage, basically giving your host or coworkers small, usually inexpensive souvenirs as mementos from a trip. We wanted to give the people of the Yakitori place some items we had brought from the US. An American dollar, some ranch, and scented candles from Louisiana. We actually brought quite a few things for this tradition, mostly for the place we were staying at, but this Yakitori restaurant left such an impact on us, we thought it necessary to give our thanks there as well.
I'm just getting all the good vibes, man. I'm just feeling so good. It's a great video.
Time to go home. And as such, we had to do something we never had to do the entirety of our trip. We had to get in a car. Yeah, much as we probably could have walked our way to the airport using the metro, we didn't want to have to haul our luggage all the way up and down so many stairs again. So we grabbed an Uber and got an extremely polite and friendly driver who spoke English incredibly well, much as he would hesitate to ever admit himself. He even offered to take care of our heavy luggage and was surprised and seemed to panic a bit when we were so eager and ready to load it ourselves, not wanting to inconvenience him. As we were saying goodbye to Tokyo, he made the
That would be me. I would just be like, thank you, and then just take my thing over. I wouldn't even think to like wait for him to come and pick it up. I would just be like, alright, where's it okay I put it here? Alright, just playing freaking car Tetris.
Drive so pleasant and calming. It was nice to have a full conversation with a Japanese person as the final capstone thing we did on a trip. Like a host asking us if the stay was satisfactory. I'll never forget how happy he was to hear that we had a good time staying in Tokyo. For the second time this trip, a middle-aged Japanese man single-handedly repaired my house, solved my finances, and rebooted my favorite franchise. I love him. He dropped us off at the airport and was kind enough to even load our luggage onto some trolleys, which was a surprise to us. Geez, these are so convenient. Why don't we ever use the airport trolleys back home? We checked our bags, hustled through security, waited in a building with a very yonic ceiling, and then we flew back. That was it. We said goodbye to Japan. It was a good trip. I look forward to going back someday soon.
Getting all feelsy, man. JoCat, what are you doing to me?
The trolley is $7.
That's why. Amazing. What a great video. Honestly, one of the best videos I've seen in a long while. And I also remember having that same feeling when I saw it back when it first released. That was so goddamn good. Oh, thank you for the stretch, J-Rock. And I'll just, guess I'll just begin yapping then. I do think after this is done, I can feel I'm already I've spent nearly 2 hours yapping over this 15-minute long video. That was just good. The storytelling, the art, everything just came together and made such a good experience. Such a heartwarming and soul-filling experience. Like JoCat, if you ever end up watching this video, first off, sorry for ending up using so much of your time because of the length this video is gonna be. But also just, again, thank you. This has been an absolute goddamn treat. I'm actually kind of considering not even putting this on the VOD channel, but just downloading it, editing it, and then putting it on my main YouTube channel because it's only gonna be this. So I don't know if people want to put the entire thing on my VOD channel and then edit it out. Like, maybe I should. I don't know. That's what I like about these ant vlogs. They're I paused on a cute moment. Pause, champ. That's what I like about these ant vlogs. They're always relaxing and they inspire to go out with your loved ones and friends to hang out with. Exactly. They really do.
I like you.
I like you.
I'm excited.
You guys are too damn cute. Hope you guys know that. Too goddamn cute. Like, you should not be allowed to be that cute. I have a fever. And the only prescription is more cute. Oh, but that was so good. I know there's not a lot of you in the theater here tonight, but I hope that those of you who are, that you enjoyed it, and that you didn't mind me constantly pausing and constantly yapping. And once again, JoCat, if you're here, if you're actually here, thank you so much, man. You make amazing stuff, and yeah, would love to talk to you one day. Would love to meet. Would like to talk. I doubt there's anything we could work on together because I'm not an artist. Like, I'm practicing art, but whatever. But like just being able to meet up and talk and hang out, that would be amazing. But again, bottom line. But actually, step one, if there ever is like a commission thing from JoCat where like you pay him to draw your OC in that chibi style, I would be down for that instantly. Like, do that. Once again, I'm yapping. I'm taking up time. Here's the wonderful people from my Patreon if they're not up there already. Yeah. I think that's it. Think that's it. All that Japanese food made me hungry. I have to go get there. So, bottom line, thank you all so very much for watching, my dear friends. This has been an absolute treat and a delight. If you're watching here on my VOD channel or on my YouTube, my links to my everything will be in the description below. You can find me of course here on Twitch. You can find me of course on YouTube, and Twitter, Blue Sky, all under JohnnyFerno. But otherwise, yeah, I believe that is it.